Hello and welcome to Arsenal X Boss Rush Games Xbox podcast. I am your host, Jesse Douglas, and I am here. He puts the boss in Boss Rush, Corey Deering.
Hello. You and Ed, man. You guys started that. Now it's not going away, is it?
Oh, the boss thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ed started it, and then I just I took the opportunity since we're called Boss Rush to just weave it into your intro. So yeah, we have kind of a more game centric, like this week we've got quite a few good games coming out for Xbox, and some that I'm more interested in learning about. But before we get to all that, is there something that you've been playing, Corey, that you want to talk about?
I've been playing a few things, nothing like really deep to talk about. I've been playing Madden on Xbox, and the online portion of that game is still really bad, dude. Like the lag, and like it's just bad, and I don't have bad internet. I don't know if it's who I'm playing or like I just don't know, but it's just like the connection is bad. Like it's just, I don't know, man. I have good internet. I have great internet, actually, and 99 out of 100 times I can tell you that it's not me.
Yeah, I think stuff like that comes down to like their net code and stuff like that, because like we've seen a lot of issues with that people have had with like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Yeah. Those kind of games where that split second of like of things happening, and you see it in Call of Duty too. The thing is, I highly doubt EA runs dedicated servers for stuff like that.
I think the only thing the only thing that they do it for is Battlefield
stuff. Yeah.
So
I would imagine I think Battlefront too. Probably.
I think Respawn does it for Apex and Titanfall, but
yeah.
But that's Respawn. That's not EA.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. The Madden servers if it's peer to peer, man, they need some work, because that net code is bad. Because I play like a regular game, and it works perfectly fine. Like it feels, I'm not gonna say it feels great. It feels good. It feels responsive enough. But when you go online, man, it's just like a guessing game. Like I have to press a button, like maybe, half a second before I even know what the player's doing, to make sure like it just gets a response. So I can't even play how I want to play on there because of just how bad the lag is. So
I know. Yeah, I know a lot of people have had some issues with a lot of those things. Especially with the sports games in general. It seems like they're not the greatest to play online. Because I know, like, there's a lot of people that play like the soccer and stuff online, and depending on where you are, or what kinds of connections you're playing against people, it seems like it's kind of the same thing with those as well, where they can be very hit and miss with the online stuff. But
yeah,
I feel like I've heard better stuff about the soccer games in particular. Like they're not quite as bad, it seems, as football, but yeah. I don't know for sure. I haven't really played any of those games online in a while, so
yeah, I don't know. I've been playing NBA 2K also, playing that online, and I've been playing it on Xbox and Switch, and even the Switch version online runs better than Madden on Xbox, which is like, we all know how Switch runs online. It barely runs Smash online. So it's just very, very bad. I'm so glad that I don't buy Madden anymore because like I don't have time to play the franchise mode. I don't want to play and spend money in Ultimate Team, so like I play online or whatever just to like I do play franchise mode from time to time. Like I'll play like probably in 1 year I'll probably play like 2 or 3 seasons in a franchise mode. But the main reason I play Madden now is to play online against other people, and it's not getting any better. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because like like I would play it more often too and stuff because I have EA access as well, and I have downloaded those games and basically just ended up once you started talking about how bad the online stuff was, I just kind of got rid of it because like really the only reason that I would have liked to have downloaded is so me and you could just play or whatever.
yeah.
Because then I'm bad. You'd probably just annihilate me every time because like I never play. I never have liked Madden games like since Super Nintendo already.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I play everything but that. Like I played like the quarterback club and all that on regular Nintendo or whatever, and I've played like everything, but for whatever reason, I just never could get into the Madden games.
Yeah.
Like I did, there was just something about the responses and it always would seem like my players would never be able to catch the ball. So I just there's just so many other football games and stuff like for most of the time that's been a thing that have been better in my opinion, and especially once the NFL 2K games started coming out, like that was like when I just played the crap load you know out of those kind of games like all the time, but then
Yeah.
we know what happened with all that. So
Yeah, so I mean I've been playing that. I'm 6-2 online, which I feel pretty good about, but it's still, I'm just glad I didn't buy it again this year. So
yeah.
so I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit of The Witcher 3, but I've been playing it on Switch, but it's I like playing it there, but it's also kind of giving me that itch to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, and I've gone back to that, and I had to I tried to download Warzone last night, and it kept stopping like halfway through and saying error or whatever, and I couldn't figure out why. And I had to delete a bunch of stuff off of my Xbox just to I had to move a bunch of stuff around and whatever. So I really tried to keep games that I really thought I was going to play. In Assassin's Creed, I deleted Origins. Oh, I deleted every game up to Odyssey in the series. Okay. I mean, it's just I don't need to have them all downloaded at one time, but I did download the DLC, and I got the XP boost, which doubles your XP every time you kill an enemy or whatever, complete quests. Just because I like to have that. I like, when you get partway through the game, you're almost like halfway through the game, you're like full, like all the way leveled up and whatever. So it's really, I did start a new game in that, and playing that game on Xbox One X at, the boosted performance mode is just, that is, that game is definitely, if I had to make a top 5 list, it would be in the top 3 for sure this generation. Yeah. Probably it might be second, just behind Zelda. I've just I love that game so much, and starting a new game is like if we're gonna be Corona lockdown in the next couple weeks, that's the game I think I'm gonna try to finally finish. So
yeah.
I'm trying to retool my Switch and my Xbox for games that are gonna last me a while because Ohio has finally hit that point where they issued a stay at home order today, Sunday. So I don't know if my job is considered a essential business yet. because I work at a car dealership in the parts department. So like it's like this weird gray area where like yeah, I get like selling cars as an exactly essential business, but providing parts to other dealerships and body shops and stuff kind of is. So I don't know where we fall in that category yet, but I'll find out tomorrow. So
Yeah.
so I've been
Well,
trying.
and you are you guys still short some people, or did they
Yeah,
hire a bunch of people?
they hired some
Okay.
people. Well, two people are supposed to start tomorrow, so
Oh, okay.
this is gonna be really
So
interesting.
yeah, so I mean, worst case scenario, they may just like have that that portion of the job just put on hiatus, like because
Yeah,
you don't want to have to be because that would mean you would have to be around that person all day to help with them with learning and training and stuff like that, and that's not exactly the
yeah.
best thing to do. It's to train someone on a job when you're supposed to be keeping your distance from people. So
Yeah, I mean, there's only three people in my department anyway, so I mean, it's not
yeah.
like we're touching people all the time, but it's
Hmm.
still. I mean, we do deal with a lot of people, especially UPS and FedEx and postal
Hmm.
service and
Hmm.
freight drivers and everything. So you don't know where those people have been either, and it's been okay since we don't have to sign anything. We don't have to like
Hmm.
touch any tablets or do anything right now. So we haven't really had much contact with other humans, but you don't
Yeah.
know where those boxes have been either, or how
Yeah.
long the virus lives on those boxes or anything. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah, that's where a lot of the gray area is because like especially with it still being cold,
mm,
like it can live for like up to like almost
I,
a week or
I,
something
I
like
think
that
they
or
said
more.
I think they said on most services it can live up to 72 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, see, that's another thing is they're constantly we're still learning everything. So like it's like one week it could be this, one week it's that. We just don't know. Like it seems like
yeah.
because there's not a lot of actual scientific messages being sent to the public. Like we have like the presidents and stuff talking about things and all that, but a lot of the information that they're talking about, it's not really much information. It's not really telling us anything that we would absolutely need to know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
um so people are having to turn to like other places to try to find out what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of not great, but
Yeah. So I've been kind of rebuilding my Xbox downloaded library at least, and my Switch library for games that'll just be there. So Assassin's Creed is definitely a game that will take up a lot of your time. Hopefully, people
uh-huh.
downloaded it this weekend because it was free. Like it was one of how they do the free play
Hmm.
weekends or whatever. It was a
Yeah.
They actually put it out for free on Thursday,
Okay.
and it was free through I think it's through Monday. So and
Okay.
and your progress carries over. So hopefully people. I know this show will come out on feeds on Wednesday, but hopefully people downloaded it and played it. So
Yeah, I was just thinking I was gonna ask when it was over because I bought Origins and because a lot of people talked about it and stuff and I just ended up not really like it was really neat looking and like I liked the beginning of the game, but I went into the actual like town where you start everything,
yeah,
I kind of lost interest in it
yeah,
because like that area that you kind of everything took place in I found kind of boring. But yeah, but I would like to try this one because it seems like it might be a little bit more interesting of a setting
yeah,
than Origins was.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but
I liked Origin's story or the
yeah,
characters and story and stuff.
yeah,
You could tell it was the first kind of try at this kind of open world RPG stuff. But I really liked Bayeka and Aya as characters and stuff. But for a game like, if you don't care about the story really at all, Odyssey is that game because there is so much to do. I think the first time around I played it about 60 hours, and I was only like 35% of the way done through the game. And
oh, okay,
so it's been crazy, just reliving that beginning parts of the game and try to remember. Oh yeah, this is that. So yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is great. And then the last game on Xbox I really was playing was I played a little bit of Halo Master Chief Collection because I'm still trying to experience that 120 hertz, and I some of the games on Master Chief Collection I think Reach has that 120 hertz mode on it, and
oh,
also I
okay.
think they said the Division 2 runs at 120 hertz on Xbox One X, so I
Hmm.
re-downloaded that because I don't know, I got the itch to play that again for some reason because a lot of people are talking about it, especially because people are playing through it because of
Yeah.
we're basically going through it right now.
Well, it's such a good game. Like since they've improved things and made it so it's not like practically impossible to play it by yourself, it's
Hmm.
so much better. Like
Yeah.
they've just improved things quite a bit and balanced things a little better. And yeah, I've been having a blast playing it. I played through and finished the story basically. But yeah, I've been having a blast playing it, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've also been playing a few things on Switch, but I mean, I mean, they're available on Xbox. So I've been playing a little bit of Axiom Verge, and like I said earlier, The Witcher. I'm 8 hours in, and I'm just now getting to the second part of the first main quest. So that game is it's gonna be the game that I think like I said, I only play about an hour every night before I go to bed, and then I'll roll over and charge it and play it again the next night. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things I wish I could, get right now, but with this,
Yeah.
we're kind of in a weird financial uncertainty right now, and it's
Hmm.
thank God I have Game Pass up through like next February or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah, Game Pass is definitely, I'm guessing, even more of a blessing than it already is. Like with everyone having to kind of stay in, there's so many good, little options on there of things to play.
yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
wanna like the only thing is that I'm bummed about, and it did a while ago now, but I'm bummed that Ashen had left it. Because now I'm gonna have to buy that because well, I kind of wanted to anyways, just because I knew it would eventually be gone
Hmm.
from Game Pass. But like seriously, Ashen is such a good, just like Dark Souls type of game or Bloodborne type of game, but it was very simplistic and just like the perfect, like basically like the starter version of that kind of game, where if you're not like super into like Dark Souls or Bloodborne type games or whatever, that you're not like as knowledged with those type of games, but you would like to try something like that, but not something that's going to be insanely difficult like right off the bat. Like Ashen is like the perfect like starter game for that kind of stuff
Yeah,
because it just does everything pretty casually, but at the same time, I mean, it is definitely challenging. There's some some enemies that are definitely not easy, but but it's really super easy to learn the like how to go about attacking them and stuff. But yeah, I'd like to get back to that again because I had a lot of fun playing that game whenever I would play it. So
yeah.
there's a lot of games that I want to get back to or
I know.
start.
I know. I've been wanting to finish. There's a bunch of stuff on Switch I want to finish, but I've been wanting to finish. I wanted to go back and try to finish Cuphead and Ori, and I want to play Reach with you, and there's I want to play Warzone, and last night was just, it made me really mad. So I was just like, I don't know, but there's just so much I want to play, and there's not. I'm gonna have to try to balance some time in the next couple of weeks to do that, but it's just being an adult kind of sucks when you're want to play games. So yeah.
Well, and it's my schedule has been kind of weird lately, but I've kind of had a little bit of free time, a little more free time some during the week than I normally would. Normally during the week, I don't play any games really, other than maybe in the morning when I get home from work. But lately, I haven't been doing that. When I get home from work, I'm usually just going to bed now. But as soon as possible, like tonight, I got to, because the kids got to stay home tonight. They don't have a babysitter or whatever, so I got to just sleep in the morning, kind of, and just hope that they stay quiet so I can get a decent amount of sleep for the day.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, is that pretty much it for then? What you've been playing, or what's in your
that's all I've been playing, really. You've been playing newer stuff, I would say.
I actually last night, because we our whole plan to play some Warzone didn't work out, so I played a little bit of that, and I think I got fifth place, and I think 10th place twice in solo mode. But oh man, I had a there was the one where I got fifth place, or no, it was 10th place. I got 10th place twice. I'm thinking of another day. I got 10th place twice, and the one of them I was in a truck, in the big army trucks that have like the big back, and where your team can climb into the back of it or whatever. Yeah. And I think I ran like 5 people over and killed them. Like, I was just running people over like crazy. It was hilarious. If you go to my Mixer, it should be on there, because I believe I was streaming when I did that. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. I was just having fun with it. I'm still not in the trying to win mode when I'm playing. I mean, kind of but I'm still not completely used to everything. So
yeah.
So I'm not really at any in any way thinking I'm gonna try to play to actually win. I mean, I've come close. I actually, when I was a while back, and I think I talked about this already, but like I had actually got second place in when I was just playing solo, like just launching in solo, but still playing teams before they had solo mode.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucked, because it was just me and one guy left, and I didn't know really where he was, and he came up behind me and got me, but that was still pretty fun. So yeah, I've been enjoying that, but and then I did go back to Sea of Thieves last night, and I played that a little bit. I just kind of wanted to see, like, how things work, and how the more like the little improvements that they've made, like how things function, and how the mechanics work, and all that stuff, of like the new cannonballs, and like now, like when someone shoots that cannonball and it knocks your the master, whatever it's called, down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to go to like the ropes that you would normally pull to raise and lower the your sails.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go over to those, and then
Oh,
you've got to
jeez.
pull it back into place, the whole big mast.
Wow.
And then you got to, once it's in place, then you got to go by it with wooden planks and nail them on each side to get it to fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will work properly. So like, I was learning like about all those kinds of little things that you've got to do. And now, like there's fire bombs, and there's the blunder bombs or whatever they're called, that are like basically just have a whole bunch of like scatter, like bird scatter type kind of stuff, little BBs, a whole bunch of them inside of it. So when it blows up, they're like, it's like a frag grenade where shrapnel goes flying, and it can, hurt multiple people or
Right.
whatever. And so like I was using those, and you can actually put those into the cannons and fire them, which I did not know.
Oh.
I thought they were just a throwable, but you actually can put like the fire bomb in the cannon and then shoot it like at a boat, and if you hit a boat with it, then it starts a fire.
Oh, wow.
Like on the boat.
That's
And
awesome.
so now you have a barrel of water down in the lower part of the boat, that you have to, there's like a pump on the side of the boat that you have to pump water into it to refill it.
Mm-hmm.
But so now you can take your bucket in that, grab some water to throw it on a fire to put it out.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have to jump in the water, because it would take much longer to jump into the water,
Yeah.
grab a pail, climb back up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so now they've changed that, and that added those things, which are pretty cool and interesting. And yeah, and just like, there's a lot of really cool new outfits and weapon skins and all that kind of stuff too that they've added since the last time I played. I think I got the Gears of War logo sale, and I think I got it for watching like something on Mixer, maybe like one of the Xbox thing. I forget what it was, how I got it, but yeah, so that was kind of cool. I was just kind of looking through all those things that I've unlocked and stuff that are
Nice.
like more rare things that you can only get for whatever reasons. But so yeah, I was just not really. I was playing the game, but I wasn't really playing it the way you're supposed to. I just was kind of checking things out, but it was still fun. I played for, I don't know, probably like 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had fun with that. But yeah, but today, I got a chance to sit down and finally play the Resident Evil 3 demo, which if you haven't downloaded it yet, to anyone listen, definitely go check that out. It's a very short demo, but it gives you a good idea of like what the game's gonna be like. And I think I finished it in like 20 some minutes, but I was looking at things and all that. I really wasn't going through and trying to finish it really super quickly. I was just kind of looking around, but so this one I think is going to be way harder than the last one.
Yeah, didn't they change the way Nemesis works a little bit?
Yeah, so like Nemesis, like in Resident Evil 2, you could like outrun the dude that was chasing you throughout the game. Like you could easily outrun him or out, like kind of outmaneuver, like in an area. Like you could climb up, somewhere, and then have him go up there, and then just quick jump down, and then get out of the room and be able to basically run away from them and ditch them, and you wouldn't see them until later then.
Yeah.
Usually. But with this one, like Nemesis, like frickin' he books it. Like you can't just run away from him. Like really, you have to like basically there's a dodge there's like a dodge button that you hold, and then when you push a direction, you'll kind of dodge in that direction.
Yeah.
And so like basically what you got to do is you've got to like like time your dodges when he's trying to run at you and attack you, because like he does not mess around. He comes at you like super fast. And so basically, like, yeah, so then you got to do like dodge him and basically try to do damage to him with like grenades or things that will knock him down and then slow him down. So then you can kind of get a head start on, trying to get away from him. Or like if you dodge him, and you can keep on dodging him until you get to like a safe area that he really can't come in. Like those are really like, it seems like from the demo are your only options of really. You can't just outrun them like you could in Resident Evil 2 and just like see you later and go do your thing. Like, yeah, I think he's going to be much more of a threat in this game. Also, they kind of changed some of the stuff. Like, so in the in the like Resident Evil 2. You could just like shoot off one of the zombies' legs, just keep on shooting their legs, and then you would use less bullets that way than trying to shoot them in the head to kill them. And then what you could do is, it would only take like one or two shots, and you could blow a leg off in the second one. And then you could just run up to them while they're crawling and just keep on stabbing them with the knife. So then you didn't have to use bullets. But it seemed like it took quite a few shots, just as many shots almost to shoot off a leg in this as it does to shoot them in the head. So that kind of sucks, but it'll be interesting though to see how people do quick runs and stuff, or the speed runs and stuff of this one, since that doesn't seem to have quite the same effect as it did in the second one. But yeah, like I mean, like playing it in 4K and stuff, like it looks amazing. The hair physics and stuff in the game were like super good. Like it, like hair actually acts a little bit more like hair would. Like where it kind of like when you turn your head, it kind of swishes a little, kind of like in the Tomb Raider game. But I feel like it looked even a little bit better than that. But not that that's really that big of a deal. But
no, but it's. You go back to some older games, right? And ever since anything, since Tomb Raider made it that big deal about hair physics, right? And it's like, well, now these people look like they're just wearing helmets that look like hair. So,
yeah, it is nice to get a little bit more realism and and things like that. Where it used to just always be helmets, basically that looked like hair. But yeah, so I'm playing that demo really got me excited for all the more Resident Evil because I part of me had wanted to go back to the second one and play it again, but I think I'm just gonna wait and play the third one here once it comes out. So
yeah, I still one day maybe we'll stream the second one. Cause, I got it when it was on sale during Christmas, and I haven't touched it because I wanted to play it with you guys. And
it's such a good game, man. That second one is just so good. It's just like it looks amazing, it feels amazing. And that's the thing. I need to go and play it now that I have a 4K monitor and stuff. Play that second one again to see how it looks and stuff. So yeah, and then I haven't really played any more of like Doom or Animal Crossing. I kind of talked about that a little bit on our regular show, but I had figured this weird thing out, and I actually messaged and sent a video of it to Bethesda on Twitter. But so I was in my games, area where it shows all the games that you have downloaded onto your hard drive, and Doom Eternal just isn't in there. It's weird.
Wow.
It's not in there, but like so I had to go to the store, to the Microsoft store, go to the game, and then go to the main page of that game, and then where it would normally say to whether you want to buy it or or whatever, and then it gives you the option to play it.
Mm.
And so then I did that. I clicked play it, so then it would load it up, so then I could click on it and save a shortcut to the game. But so then I did that, and I started it up, and it was playing and everything, and then I went back into my hard drive thing, and it's still not there anywhere. So I don't know what's going on.
That's
like it's saying it's on my hard drive, but it doesn't show up as a game that's installed.
Huh.
It's really weird. So I sent a video. Yeah, I made a video of that, of me going through it and everything, and then I posted it on Twitter and tagged Bethesda and stuff in it. I haven't gotten any response, but
that's weird.
I don't know. I'm just like, is this a thing that people are having, an issue with, or what's going on here? This is weird. So yeah, that's pretty much, like the Resident Evil 3 demo is mostly like the big thing that I was kind of excited to play finally, because it's been out for a while now. But
yeah.
So yeah, people go out and go try that demo. It's not very long, but it's a pretty interesting, fun little clip of idea of what the game is going to be like. So that Nemesis, man, he's not messing around in this game at all. Not messing around. So
yeah.
All right,
man.
So
yeah, that game's gonna be such a smash hit, especially now when everybody's gonna be home playing it.
Yeah.
Just seems.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people this is a good time to be at home to play games, right? Because Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Like if you're buying all the new games, like Animal Crossing is gonna be that game you just play indefinitely, and then you'll play Doom, and then by the time you're done with Doom, you can move on to Resident Evil, and then when you're done with Resident Evil, you'll go on to play Final Fantasy VII. It's just like this endless,
Yeah, there's a lot of bigger games and like story-driven stuff that's coming out and all that.
Plus, there's a rumor that Xbox and PlayStation are going to double up their games with gold and PlayStation Plus games next month because of the quarantine. So you'll get double that, hopefully.
Nice.
So, I mean,
nice.
not that they have to be great games, but just offering a little bit more for
it
would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like people are doing a lot because I know Tomb Raider was free on Steam. There's a lot of free games on Steam. There's a lot of sales going on. Ubisoft had that huge sale this weekend where almost all their games were 75 to 80% off, and so.
Yeah, because well, especially if there's a lot of the times if people are staying home and they've got a lot of free time now, it's because they can't go to work, and if they're not going to work, they don't have a lot of money possibly. So that the cheaper and even free, like you said, if they can make stuff free or cheaper for people to give them options, and like Disney Plus has been putting. And just in general, like a lot of the movies, since people can't go to the theaters, I mean, there's no use in keeping the movie or releasing movies to theaters because no one's going to watch them. So you might as well just release them directly to digital. And we're seeing that where a lot of these newer movies that would probably still be in the theater for like another week or whatever or two are just getting released digitally for people to buy or rent. So,
or even, Disney put Frozen 2 on Disney Plus. They're putting
yeah,
Onward on Disney Plus.
yep,
Star Wars is out to buy now. I know
yeah,
Universal's putting a lot of their movies out on
yeah.
digital right now. There's another big movie that's coming to digital, like
Which
right now.
I still haven't seen the last Star Wars. So
Yeah, I haven't either. You can't rent it; you have to buy it. But still, it's nice
okay,
to see. I mean, it's only. I mean, if you're gonna buy it digitally, it's $20. But
yeah, yeah,
plus, I think
yeah.
the big rumor is that it's gonna come to Disney Plus on May 4th because that's
Oh,
Star Wars
which
Day.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, which makes sense. So maybe I might just wait till then.
yeah, which would probably
I don't
that
know.
would be a smart marketing move at least.
Yeah,
Especially it'll be like 2 months after anyway for digital and DVD. So
yeah. Yeah, and yeah, like I've honestly like Onward though is been one of my most anticipated movies of this year, like that I've wanted to see that's was coming out more recently
yeah,
because it just looks like such a good movie. So I was super excited when they announced that. So
yeah. We actually watched Frozen 2 this weekend.
oh, did you?
Yeah, well, we kind of made a night in yesterday, and we wanted to watch a movie that my daughter would kind of be paying attention to, even though she doesn't
Yeah.
really pay attention to TV. So we decided to we had a hot dog and tater tot party. We have this little pan that, like, if it's cold outside, it emulates like a grill. It has little, like, it's like an indoor grill type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we cooked hot dogs on it and cooked some tater tots and had some mac and cheese and watched Frozen 2. And it was all right. It
Yeah.
wasn't a terrible movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't think Frozen was terrible either, but it's just
no.
everybody just hates on it because it's Frozen. But I mean, I actually think 2 was better.
Yeah, yeah, I felt the same way. I like because for me it's like I actually liked the whole like origin backstory kind of stuff about because in the first one you don't know why she has these powers. You don't know why what she's really been through per se. I mean, they kind of touched on it a little bit, of like what happened and
Yeah,
kind of like why she wanted to keep her distance away from everyone and like why all that stuff happened. But like yeah, this second one I thought was like just 100 times better story wise, like storyline wise anyways.
yeah.
Like
And
like
the
I
little,
still think the music in the first one was better, but
yeah.
it wasn't
They
bad
did
in the
make a
second.
let it go joke in the second one though. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Where, like,
Yeah.
how they walk through, she's walking through and she can see the memories in the water or whatever, and then
Yeah.
just starts singing the song. She's like, ugh. It's funny. It was a good one.
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also the snowman Olaf is hilarious.
Yeah, he was great in the second one. Yeah.
So
I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was way more interesting, and it kept my interest and my attention way longer than
Yeah.
the first one did. So
yeah,
it's definitely worth checking out if you're one of those people that just like heard people say negative things about it and then just never checked it out. You honestly should go check it out and make your own mind for that one, because I definitely think it was a better movie.
yeah.
So, but all right, so I guess we could get into the arson news here. Well, so we've got a lot of really interesting and some, games that I think that already I kind of know a little bit about that look good coming out. And now all these games are coming out between March 24th and 27th. So this is a lot of games, a lot of interesting and good games coming out in 1 week. So
Yeah.
that will be this week that you guys are listening to this. So I thought this would be a good kind of a good thing to bring up. So if there's some games here that people I'm sure have heard about, I know I've talked about a couple of them a few, throughout the time that we've kind of seen stuff on them. So the first game that we'll get to, March 24th. Now, obviously, Bleeding Edge is coming out on March 24th, and we've kind of mentioned that. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that game, Corey. Guessing you kind of wanted to try it out and get into it, didn't you? Because you like
Yeah.
Overwatch and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to, at least, check it out.
Yeah. Because I think you will like it. I mean, it's basically like their version of Overwatch. Like a very, very strong. I think it's going to be honestly a strong competitor. For the I don't even know that it would be considered really competition per se.
I liked what I played. I played a little bit of that first beta.
Okay.
And it was fun what I played. I think that this is going to be a game that highly benefits from being on Game Pass day one, honestly, because I know a lot of people like Ninja Theory a lot because of Hellblade and DMC and even as far back as Heavenly Sword and Enslaved, but this is something new and different for them, and I think that Ninja Theory fans will jump on right away, and I think Overwatch has been out long enough to where people might feel like that game's getting stale, but they still are looking for that competitive game like that, and so I think this is going to fit that bill, and it being on Game Pass and cross-play across PC and Xbox is going to be a big win for them. So.
Yeah, and I think it helps too that it seems to have a lot of really, like those little things that people can kind of customize and change, and skins for things and all that. That it's got a lot of that I think people are gonna love. Like we had talked me and Ray about like the a while back about like the the skate or your hoverboards or skateboard type things that you're riding on, being able to change those and just everything. Like you can just basically everything seems to be customizable. So the more of that stuff, the more you can customize in a game usually means even more people then will just absolutely love, people love to make their characters, unique and different and stuff like that. So it seems to have a lot going for it in that department. As long as they don't do like the whole, do all that stuff the wrong way, they should be fine, I think. And then the next game that we have coming out March 24th as well and this is one that I'm absolutely have been looking forward to because it just looks hilarious and just like I've wanted to play a good fun shoot 'em up for a while, but Freedom Finger is coming out March 24th, and if you don't know about this game, it's like I said, it's a shoot 'em up.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of Just Shapes and Beats a little bit in terms of like, it's a shoot 'em up, but it's really driven by the music. It's like really the music based thing that made Just Shapes and Beats really good on Switch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then it's kind of almost.
Oh, sorry. This sounds like an Ed game for sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, and then on top of that, it's got like some adult humor and stuff thrown in there because your spaceship is basically just a hand that's always holding the middle finger up, just flying through the air, shooting at things and destroying stuff. It's a music-driven and side-scrolling shooter that sends you blasting across 40 levels of crazy cartoon action. So So yeah, I'm definitely there's some I don't know a whole lot of these bands that are in it. I have heard Red Fang. Red Fang is a pretty decent band. I like their stuff. But yeah, there's a couple of bands and stuff that will be in it, and but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this game, and I have been since we first seen it. I was just like, oh, this just looks funny and ridiculous, and just looks like my type of fun, game.
Yeah.
And then another game that's coming out the 24th is Moons of Madness. This is a first person story driven cosmic horror game where the scientific exploration of Mars meets the supernatural dread of Lovecraft. Um, it's like I haven't seen a whole lot about this quite yet, but the little bit that I have seen of it, it definitely looks like a game that I would be interested in. Anytime you have like science fiction, like horror, supernatural type stuff like that's in first person,
Hmm.
I'm usually going to give it a shot, right away. And if it's getting some good reviews and stuff like that, I probably definitely will buy it, when I get a chance. But yeah, Moons of Madness, it definitely looks like an interesting game. It's not like super realism type of game. It's more like a fun looking, even though it's, kind of horror and all that stuff. It looks more like just like a fun, non-realistic kind of spooky story driven game. So
Yeah.
definitely gonna give that a shot, I think. And there's some other games coming out here that I'll tell you a little bit about, but I really haven't seen them because there's quite a few here. But all right, so March 24th.
There's like 20 something games coming out next week.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch. Element Space. Is also coming out March 24th. And now, yeah, this kind of looks a little bit like a XCOM style kind of game. Yeah, you have like crews that you kind of have to move around, just like you do in SOCOM and stuff like that. And you kind of like the graphics kind of look a little bit more cartoonish than like your SOCOM and stuff like that. But I mean, it looks really good and it looks really interesting. I honestly I could see you, Corey, possibly being into this game.
Yeah,
And I
trying
think
to.
it's a space. I think it takes. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's like you're battling in space to save humanity from extinction.
Yeah, I'm
This
gonna watch this trailer real quick right now and see if it's a. I want to see. I want to because it kind of sounds cool. It sounds kind of.
yeah, yeah, it's like I mean like you're utilizing cover,
Yeah, I mean it
your
definitely.
strategy. It's definitely
It's definitely
you know uh,
XCOM.
yeah, yeah, and we've actually got a couple of at least two games like that coming out this week. While you're looking at that, also March 24th, we got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of Duelist, or Duelist, I mean, sorry. Link Evolution. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. One of the newer versions of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card digital game or whatever. I never
I can't
really
believe
got
that's still
into.
around.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those, like as long as we have hobby shops and stuff like that that sell like, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and all that kind of stuff, I feel like that stuff's gonna continue to exist because I know like by us we have Chimeras or whatever that has they've got like a whole bunch of tables and stuff in the back for playing just about every kind of game like that you can imagine.
Yeah.
They have, they constantly have Pokemon stuff going on there, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like they have tournaments all the time for things.
Yeah.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh and all that. Yeah, I never really got into the card stuff. I've watched the show before. I didn't mind the show. I watched Digimon and stuff before too as well, but I never really got into the actual card game stuff.
I feel like we're just missed that age range where Yu-Gi-Oh became, super popular because I mean for me it was Pokemon cards when I was little, so I still have my whole original set. I wonder if it's worth money.
It could be. It's very possible that it could be. I guess it depends on what cards and stuff you had in it and everything.
Yeah.
I think most of that's like card by card basis.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but just a nice little nice little thought I just had while I'm probably not going to be working.
Yeah, you could brush up on your Pokemon skills, your Pokemon card playing skills.
Yeah.
Well, and they have, and you have a decent PC now and stuff too, where you could probably even play like the virtual version of that because they have some like pretty good like
the Pokemon card game is actually on phones also, so you actually kind of go to the Pokemon trading card website and you can link your PC account with your phone app and you can just play that way. So
okay. But what I'm looking for now, this is kind of breaking away from the games here for a second, but there's a company, and I wish I knew their name, that's working on this AR project.
Uh-huh.
And they're basically, what they're doing is they're trying to make this AR program that is like basically you can open this program up and you can do it like with your phone or anything that's got a camera basically can kind of turn stuff into AR, for the way that it works. Like, Pokemon Go is, a perfect example of how AR can work with just a regular phone, but they have this thing where they basically, what they want to do is when you buy like a tabletop game,
mm-hmm.
This AR program would allow you to play the game with your friends, not having to be actually at the house. Because what it basically would do is, like, you'd have the board and it scans it, and so then it would allow people to be able to play from far away and still all be playing the same game. Because like the way it is that basically it will take a game that you have and then it turns it into a digital version of it. And then from that point on, then you don't actually need the actual physical stuff. It's basically like, I don't know if they would have like a barcode thing on a box of a game. So if you wanted to play it in this AR mode, you just would have to scan it and then it would download whatever it needs for it. That's something that's kind of been being worked on. And the day that something like that happens, I think would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would play tabletop games a lot more if that were something that we had today for technology, because I love tabletop games, but obviously the hard part about tabletop games is trying to get everyone in the same place to do it. So, Yeah, then so back to the games. The other game coming out March 24th as well. That kind of seemed to be a little bit like an XCOM game as well, as a game called War Tile.
Yeah, I saw that too. That game looks a lot like, like a Final Fantasy Tactics or something.
Yeah, and so from what it says here, so we were just talking about tabletop games. So this is, I believe, is an actual tabletop game turned into a digital version. So basically, like this is their video game version of a tabletop game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it says you breathing tabletop video game that invites the player into a miniature universe full of small adventures set in beautiful handcrafted. So yeah, it's basically like those you have those games, the tabletop games where you have to buy the pieces and then you can, like paint them and stuff yourself. It's like one of those kind of games, but they made a digital version of it. So that reading that actually makes me even more interested in that, because I've always kind of wanted to get into one of those kind of tabletop games where you, like you have your little characters and stuff. There, some of them that I've played that are like that, but it's all, it's just you got the whole set,
Yeah.
which is much easier and much cheaper to get into.
Right.
So yeah, War Tile, that's also coming out, and another March 24th game. Deep Sky Derelicts Definitive Edition. So this must be a game then, obviously, that's been out, but it's like maybe a re-release or something like that. So this looks to be like an RPG kind of like card type game as well. Because like on this picture that I'm looking at, it's kind of got like the numbers of each character, like, and they're like, then they have like cards along the bottom that like have different information and stuff on them. So it looks to be like a card style RPG game.
Yeah. It's got a cool art style to it.
Yeah.
The animation kind of looks like Flash animation. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if there's a game that came out on Switch at launch called Has Been Heroes, where it was kind of like really simple animations and kind of this weird comic booky style game, but
yeah,
it kind of gives me that vibe, but more of a card-based RPG.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that. Because I don't know why, but I had just recently looked at that game. I think when I was looking through the eShop or something, I think I came across that game, and
I
it
think
looked
it was on
interesting.
sale. It was on sale last week, I think.
Okay.
For a couple weeks, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense, because I was kind of looking through the deals and stuff. It had been a while since I looked on the eShop, so I was like, I wonder if there's any good games that are for sale. But yeah, it does. It like, that's what I was gonna say, is it's really got this like very cool, almost like the new Turtles comics, and kind of in some way too, like it reminds me a little bit of those for some reason. But yeah, it's definitely got a comic book style art to it that looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it says it's the definitive edition. So it comes with the base game, and it's 2 DLCs that are with it. So
yeah,
so it sounds like if that's something that you'd be interested in, that nice definitive edition with all the add-on stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then now we're starting into the March 25th. So this, I have never heard of this. I'm very interested in seeing what exactly this game is, but it's Duck Souls. Plus.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's definitely a. It just looks like a dumb platformer.
Yeah, it looks really really weird, and obviously they're word play on Dark Souls. I'm guessing is what they're trying to do there
I'm guessing
with
this is just like a
Duck
really
Souls.
hard platformer. It looks like a really simplified version of Celeste. To be honest with
Yeah,
you, is what it looks
yeah,
like. Somebody
yeah,
somebody definitely played Celeste and was like, let's make this a comedy game. Yeah.
yeah. It says a fast-paced action platformer about a little duck with an incredible skill to dash and a mission: find all the eggs to save his species.
Yeah.
Set in a cute and deadly fantasy world where many traps will rip your wings off your body while you struggle to grasp the frail, fragile egg.
Yeah.
Run, jump, and dash through a colorful, treacherous environment to save everyone and become a hero if you can.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
definitely somebody played Celeste and Super Meat Boy and was like, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks interesting.
Both great games, by the way, but still.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely what somebody.
All right, and now I don't know anything about this. So this one's coming out March 26th. It seems to be like a updated version of an older game, I believe. Arafel Enhanced Edition. Oh, I don't know anything about this if this is like a franchise that's been around for a while or what, but so the Xbox One X enhanced version of this will be coming out. It really reminds me of like Chrono Trigger type kind of JRPG.
Yeah.
It's 16-bit, but it's got like the really updated graphics in it. Like the picture that they're showing is like the three characters or four characters are going against this big like octopus type thing in the cavern.
Yeah, I'm
And
watching the trailer.
It looks cool.
I'm watching the trailer right now. It's definitely a 16-bit RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something like yeah, it's definitely Chrono Trigger or some sort of old school Final Fantasy, turn-based RPG. Yeah, I saw this because there's a game that I'm sure we're gonna get to that I'm really interested in. I'm sure we'll get to it, but this looks kind of like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I might check this out. Probably not on Xbox, but I'll check it out. Unless it's on Game Pass. This definitely looks like a Switch game to me.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. I wonder if some of these will be on Switch as well, because like definitely like Duck Souls and like some of those kind of.
I'm gonna go to the coming soon section on the eShop, see if any of these are.
What was?
I think
what was
Arafel is definitely on the coming soon.
Okay.
I feel like I watched that trailer there.
Yeah. I mean, because if anything, like
Yep, there it is, right there.
I'm all about people getting it on the Xbox, but if you have a Switch, it's probably the better place to get it.
It's only $15 on Switch.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's nice. I added that to my wish list.
Yeah, it looks like it would be something interesting and.
Yep, there's Duck Souls Plus on Switch also, $5.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. $5. That's reasonable.
Yeah,
that's about what I would expect.
Yeah, if it was anything over 10, I was going to question their.
Yeah. So, what was the other game that you were saying that you that you were interested in that's similar to this?
Sea of Stars.
Oh, Sea of Stars.
It's not coming out next week. It's been kickstarted and confirmed for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. So
yeah.
It's that game that's was kickstarted by the team who did The Messenger.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we had kind of talked a little bit about that on the I
on
think
Boss
on the
Rush.
Boss Rush. So that looks like an interesting game as well. But all right, so um, March 26th. So if you're a big Borderlands, you know, fan and you enjoyed, I know there's a lot of people that did enjoy Borderlands 3. I know there's also a lot of people that didn't really care a whole lot. Is kind of like the a couple of games here that we've had in the recent past where it was just either you were interested in it or you weren't. So if you were interested in it, good news. You've got some more content coming out on March 26th. So
I didn't get Borderlands because I barely played the other ones.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, see that is the same with me. Like I played a good chunk of the first one when it originally came out. And then I never really got around to playing the second one. But I think it's kind of the same thing as like along the lines of like all the Fallout games. Like at some point I've played all the Fallout games,
yeah,
but I never really stuck with them because they just weren't for me. Like I tried and like every time a new one would come out, I'd try it hoping that maybe that would be the one that would get me hooked on or like that would interest me and bring me in. So like I've tried to get into them, just not for me, and that's fine. There's that's the great thing about video games is there's definitely a lot of games out there for all different kinds. So but so it's called Guns, Love, and Tentacles. So it looks like I like their cover art here thing for the announcement. It looks cool anyway. But yeah, so that should be interesting if you have Borderlands 3 and you're looking to play more. So another game coming out March 26th. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Mikorama, I think.
Yeah. It's basically Captain Toad.
Yeah, it's like Captain Toad, but like you're this. It says guide the adorable robot Bee to safety after he crash lands on a strange cubic planet. Explore each level, rotating it in 3D to see all sides, looking for a way through to the goal. 100 varied levels continuously toss up new surprises that you'll never know what to expect. So yeah, if you really like were into Toad's Treasure Tracker and kind of want something more like that or something like that you can play on your Xbox, it looks interesting enough. I don't know how challenging the puzzles will get or anything, but it does look just from, there's only one little picture here that they have with this announcement, and it looks like it could possibly get to the point where some of the puzzles could get challenging.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of a trailer and a Let's Play just now, and it's definitely a poor man's Captain Toad. But I mean, Captain Toad's a great game, so I mean, I'm surprised we don't have more ripoffs already.
Yeah, well, and I guarantee you, this is probably going to be another one of those games that's only like $15 or something.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. Like it's definitely going to probably be more a cheaper option if that's something you're interested in. All right, so okay, so this some of these have already came out. That was down at the bottom here, or maybe I don't know if maybe they may have just messed up on the date. So it says March 17th, but I'm guessing they meant 27th.
Bears. No. Are you on the Xbox Wire?
Yeah.
They just can make a continuous list.
Oh,
You
okay.
can scroll down
Okay.
forever and see games that have come out. Like if you just keep scrolling, it'll just keep going and going.
Well, but with this list, it's still all ones that come out next week, but there's just kind of in the middle of all these that say 27th, there's a one that says the 17th.
Oh,
So I think they just may have accidentally screwed up and put 17th instead of 27th.
hmm.
Because I'm in the list of 27, the March 27th, and there's just that one that says 17th.
Oh,
So I don't know. It could be out already, but if not, if it is just a screw up, it's Bears Can't Drift. Will be coming out March 27th.
yeah, that's it.
Um,
I'm on pure Xbox and it says March 27th for me.
okay, okay. So yeah, they must have just accidentally put a 17 there instead of 27.
Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah, this says put your paw to the floor and power slide between the pines as you face off against up to 3 friends in split screen multiplayer, including 12 tracks spread across 3 worlds and 3 game modes with up to 11 computer controlled opponents. Bears Can't Drift is retro karting action with a modern look and feel. Now, like originally when I was looking at this and I was talking with this about this game with Corey here before we started the show. Like, so it is a racing game, but like from this picture, they make it look like it's like some kind of like 3D platformer. It's like it just looks very elaborate for a knockoff kart game. So it must just be that he's because he must be sideways drifting here across the bridge or something. But the world looks really cool that you're kind of driving through. So I don't know if I would buy this per se, but it's definitely something I'm interested in looking more into. Um, so yeah, I mean, really, well, like honestly, I mean, the Xbox doesn't really have a whole lot of, like those kind of Mario Kart style, games. I think what they have the Sonic Racing, right?
Yeah.
There's Sonic Racing on Xbox, and I think that's about it. Pretty much
Crash
it, isn't it?
Crash Team Racing is
Yeah,
on
Crash.
Xbox
That's
too.
right. Yeah, that's right. Crash Team. So yeah, that's another racing game, kind of like your Mario Kart and stuff. Again, the map looks kind of cool, from this picture. It looks interesting. Another game, March 27th, coming out is Bite the Bullet. And so this is like a 2D side-scrolling RPG shooter. It kind of looks almost similar to crap, I can't remember the name of it right now. There's one that I got for Switch that I really enjoyed. Um, that's kind of looks kind of similar to this, but it really does like some of the tree graphics and things kind of almost remind me of like Donkey Kong like the Donkey Kong country style games, but it's but you're these like a guy with a gun or whatever running around. It's like Contra or whatever.
Yeah.
It's similar, yeah. So it's like a Contra if Contra was like an RPG shooter, basically.
Yeah.
And a roguelite. It's a roguelite. So it's yeah. I don't
Pass.
know. Yeah, Corey isn't much for the
Anytime
rogue.
I see that word, I'm like pass. The only one I've ever played more than like 10 minutes was Dead Cells.
Yeah, yeah. The Dead Cells it was that type of game, but it really felt different. I don't know, something about it just what it was way too easy to get addicted to that game. I think that was part of the problem, part of why so many people that even if they didn't really care for roguelike games, liked that game just because like it felt fun to continuously going at it. But
Mhm.
so yeah, that's a game that I probably will try if it like if that would definitely be a Game Pass type game. Like if that comes to Game Pass, I'd definitely try that. Um, Another March 27th game. This is called Gigantosaurus, I believe, or Gigantosaurus. Not sure how it's pronounced, but
I'm pretty sure you're just a giant dinosaur that goes around and destroys stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, yeah, like you it. I don't really know, like from the picture, like it shows, it seems to be like a platformer type, a 3D platformer kind of looking game. It's
let's see.
I'm not really sure exactly because the explanation of it is like all basically expecting you to already know what this is because
Well,
this must be a show.
Gigantosaurus. It's a Disney show. It looks like
Okay, okay,
because
all right.
it said watch the first full episode here, and it said Disney
Yeah,
all over it. So
and it's kind of it's saying that it's a show you basically, but yeah, it's like so it's based on the show. Um, I'm honestly like from the animation and just the way the world looks and stuff, I'm is honestly got me interested enough to just check it out. So um, definitely probably be a good kids game.
yeah,
Um, Also, March 27th, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is coming out. I actually just started watching One Piece. I
so
finally
you got
got it.
like 12 years of episodes left
Yeah.
to watch.
Yep.
How many seasons of that show are there? Like 30?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. I've like watched 2 episodes of it. So, yeah, I'm figured, hey, time to, I all my shows that I had been watching are either done or whatever, haven't released new seasons yet. So I figured it was a good time to finally get around to it. So yeah, obviously, Pirate Warriors, it's like the all those warrior games where you're just beating up a whole bunch of characters by the math, like hundreds of them at a time, and not never been my cup of tea. I've just never really been very interested in these kind of games. But if you like One Piece, and I know this is definitely my friend Pat game. Like he'll probably be getting getting this. He loves those kind of games. I could never get into them, and he likes One Piece a lot. I'm sure he'll probably be checking that out. Another March 27th game is Inops. This is like a 2D puzzle based side scrolling adventure of dark and light. It says battle fire breathing demons, explore the shadowy mine, the twisted jungle, and extraterrestrial elect city to rescue the scattered Ionops. So yeah, I don't know. It again, like they didn't pick a really great picture to show this game off. But I would imagine this is another one of your like typical, cheaper budget games that could end up being a hidden gem. It looks interesting. Like I really do like the art style and stuff. It's like very very dark, but there's also like the certain things that are lit up are very bright. So there's like they said, this darkness mixed with the very very bright light, and it kind of the little characters that they have on the thing are just like balls of black with little white dots for eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks interesting. I don't know for sure whether it would be something I'd be interested in or not, but Children of Zodiac.
Zodiac.
Yeah, Zodiac, that's what it is. Uh, Comes out March 27th. So this is like another like a tactical RPG type game, like your XCOM and stuff.
Yeah.
Much more Japanese anime style though, like a kind of like the characters on the sides that like they're playing as or whatever. It looks to be kind of like a almost card kind of, yeah, deck and dice based combat system. So yeah, so it's like you got kind of the mix of your tactical RPG mixed with card and dice rolls and things like that. So looks interesting. Again, not really something that I'm super into, but if you're into the cards and dice type games, this will be for you. So,
Yeah.
and that pretty much ends that list. So,
I mean, there's a lot of games coming out. Something
yeah,
for everybody. It seems like.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah, this list, and again, that's all those games I went through. That's all just this week. So
Yeah.
when you guys are listening to it, it's coming out this week. So
Are any of these coming to Game Pass? Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean, I know it doesn't say on there. I didn't know if they had an Xbox list or Game Pass list.
Yeah, no, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these did, and that's like why the Wire like focused on them a little bit.
Yeah. This looks
Like,
more like
honestly.
this looks more like Fire Emblem than what I was
Yeah.
expecting.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it like it almost like those character models that they show on the sides of the screen,
Yeah.
that that you're playing with. Yeah, they really look like those kind of characters to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Fire Emblem characters. Like especially the one knight, the officer one, he reminds me of like a Fire Emblem, like one of the knights from the Fire Emblem characters, like just the throwaway characters.
Assemble your deck. Never mind. Pass.
Yeah,
Card-based.
it's a card base, but at the same time, it's like taking a Fire Emblem style game, but then mixing the card and dice with it. So
Pass.
yeah,
I was excited until I saw cards.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't know that I'd really be in that. This would do it for me, but
I mean, look,
I don't know.
somebody likes deck building card games, right?
Well,
But
yeah. Well, and like you said, I mean, like this list, I really there's a game here for just about everyone almost. So
yeah.
there's like it's nice to see some variety of games coming out. And, like just because it's not for one of us, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing that it's coming out. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically that whole big pile of games is coming out this weekend. Another thing I kind of wanted to touch on, as I was kind of following this article on The Wire, and I've just kind of been curious what's been going on with xCloud and stuff like that. Now it's kind of out that people can play the console streaming and stuff on whether you're on iPhone or Android. And I was just kind of reading this article, and it's I don't know, I'm curious what you think, but it seems like we could be pretty soon here, like having like a little bit more of a, like moving from the beta, not necessarily like a full on launch of it,
Yeah.
but like it seems like they're making some steps to kind of move this project along. It says so far like that they have, like for the xCloud preview part, they've got almost 100 games available now, for that part. It says we have made 90 plus titles available to play and continue to increase capacity in Azure regions throughout the world. So yeah, like it seems like they're like trying to, like really start working on ramping this up a little bit, and getting it to where people can, get a little bit more of a, variety of games to try out.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my email to play it on on my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I mean I know it's the Android stuff is what they're really focusing on, because I think the new Microsoft tablets run some sort of Android now, like some of them I think. So I know they're really trying to get the Android stuff working, because that's basically who they're working with on some smart devices. But
Yeah.
I think Project xCloud is something that I think it's something that people don't know. Like, we know about it because we're in the Xbox ecosystem and pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's going on. But
Yeah.
I think once this really hits the mainstream, this is going to be something that people didn't know they wanted,
Yeah.
and that it's going to change their whole life, right? Like the Switch,
Yeah.
right? You look at the Switch. Sorry, I'm pulling an Ed here. I'm talking about Nintendo, but it's for a reason this time, you guys, I promise. The Switch is like, I think they took a step that way with the Wii U, and they took the wrong step. And the Switch is like what people wanted the Wii U to be, pretty much, where like you can play games on the go or on your TV or whatever. And the Wii U just never hit that mark. But then Nintendo got to combine their handheld stuff, which is what everybody loved Nintendo for anyway, and their console stuff, and now it just works, right? And now that's all people want from Nintendo. I think Xbox has the opportunity to do the same thing, but in a way where I think, I think it's going to do something very special for Xbox and Microsoft. Being able to play Halo, like Destiny or Halo Infinite, or the RPGs that you can grind in, or be able to take your phone over to your friend's house and play co-op with them, instead of lugging your box over, and a TV. I think that's going to do something really cool for games like Destiny or Borderlands, or games like that. I think there's going to be so many options that you can do. Or if you're taking a road trip, right, you just bring your Xbox controller and a phone charger, and you're ready to go. I think that's huge.
We'll see the future version of what LAN parties used to be. Like now everyone can literally all go into a room with their phone and a controller, and everyone has a phone or a tablet or a PC, or or whatever. I mean, everyone has some kind of thing that will eventually all be supported by this. And no longer do you have to have these big CRT TVs all piled into one room,
right?
And internet, cables running everywhere. You can, you're basically going to be able to do that again, but all you need is your phone and a controller, essentially. So, that's the thing, is it's just going to make things that we already own that much more valuable and useful, for things that we want to do. So
yeah, and I think that being able to grind, I think it's gonna allow people like you and me specifically, who are parents and have responsibilities and stuff. Like, that's why I play my Switch a lot more than my Xbox, because my wife and I like to watch TV together, and I have to be able to put stuff down when my kid gets into something, and like it's very easy to do that on the Switch, where you just pop it in a sleep mode, go take care of what you need to do, and then keep playing, and then when everybody goes to bed, you pop it in on the TV or whatever. But like, to have that ability to do that on Xbox is going to make not only make me play my Xbox more, but it's going to be able to I'm going to be able to play bigger and more complex games like RPGs, or I'll be able to grind out some stuff in Destiny or The Division, or being able to play something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey handheld is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And like I said, I'm playing The Witcher on Switch right now, and it's great to be able to play a game like that, because I would have never even been able to be as far as I am on Xbox, because I don't have the time to dedicate, right? And when I'm on my Xbox, I'm usually hopefully trying to play with friends, or waiting on some stupid game to update, Warzone, and I want to utilize that time that way. But if I can play Assassin's Creed on my phone with my controller hooked up to it, or some sort of RPG like Final Fantasy, or something like that, I think that's going to change the way I approach playing games on Xbox as well. So
it's definitely, and like even now, it's still early in its process. It's still kind of in its beta. And I've used it. My unfortunate thing though is this tablet that I have, the Samsung tablet. It lets me download the app onto it, but for whatever reason, this tablet does not like that app, and the app crashes.
Oh, really?
On this tablet, but it works fine on my phone. It works fine on everything else. But for whatever reason, this tablet that I have, it's an older tablet. So I think it just doesn't like it because it's an older tablet. So I might have to look into selling that and getting upgrading a tablet maybe eventually down the line. But
that reminds me, my wife has a tablet she doesn't use, an Android tablet.
Yeah. There you go. You could try it. Depending on how old it is. I mean, it's worth a try either way.
It's like 4 or 5 years old. It's kind of up there in technology age. So
yeah. Who knows though? I mean, that's the nice thing about Android though, is a lot of times their tablets usually like they'll surprise you sometimes at what things you can still do and update and apps you can use that you would have never thought would run on them. But they like with the, I think they kind of, it seems like from this article. Oh, never mind. Yeah, let's see. Shoot, there was something I was gonna touch on that was interesting. I don't know where that was now, but oh, okay. So one of the things that they talked about here in this article that I found really cool and definitely very forward thinking about this is like a lot of the issues that we run into when when you're playing games on Switch, like in handheld mode, is like a lot of times, like if like when they port over a game, they forget that they probably should update the size of the text and stuff like that, so it's a little bit easier to read.
Oh yeah, you're talking about how it's gonna recognize that it's in cloud mode and what device you're playing it on.
Yeah, and so they'll actually they talked about how you're actually gonna be able to, I believe, like personally adjust the size of the text like yourself, so you'll be able to kind of adjust them to what you want, so you can make sure that you can read the text and stuff like that.
Yeah, The Witcher on Switch does that. It knows okay, you're playing in handheld mode, so your text needs to be a little bit bigger, your map is a little bit bigger. Like it takes up a lot of screen, but it's really helpful when you're trying to figure out what's happening and you have the sound down. But then when you
Yeah.
pop it on TV, it like goes back to normal size mode. So
Yeah, which, that's the thing is as long as like on that end, as long as people when they're making the game for that console, think about those things, then it's fine. But yeah, with this being literally you're playing a game that that's an Xbox game, so therefore like it's you're playing a game and it's being played in a way that it wasn't originally made to be able to be played, so just the kind of the idea that they can kind of do that stuff through the actual app instead of having to actually go in and completely redo the game to make it work is kind of a cool idea. I'm guessing what it is they probably somehow like just took something from the PC versions of games, because I feel like a lot of times PC versions usually have like a lot more stuff that you can like change and edit like that. Yeah, I just kind of found the article like kind of updating a little bit and talking about that. Pretty interesting. So the last thing here for the Talking X topic of the day, and then I don't think we'll get too in depth in this, but this is just more personally for me because we haven't really talked too much, me and you, Corey, about like how you feel and like what your thoughts are as we get closer to the new Xbox coming out. I was just curious what you think. Like, do you think that we will see a $499 price tag on this console, or do you think that it's most likely going to be 500? Because I hear a lot of people thinking that it's going to be.
I think a lot of people think it's going to be
6.
I think a lot of people are going to say that it's going to be 6.
Yeah.
But I think with all the things that Microsoft is doing in terms of Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, and I think they're going to try to price this thing aggressively. I think they're going to try to I think they might take a hit on this console.
Well, they definitely will.
Yeah,
because from what I understand, and this was just something I wanted to bring up, like I forgot to bring up first before asking you. So, like, from what I understand, what I've heard, and like people who kind of like understand pricing and the technology and stuff like that more. It sounds like if you were to go out right now and buy the technology and the stuff that's going to be in the new Xbox, you would have to spend $1,000 to buy all that.
But I think when people do that, they lose the fact that Microsoft makes these deals in advance and buying like millions of these components in bulk at a time to the point where like they probably get it at a third or half of the price that we do by going to the shelves and buying them off the shelf. But I still think that this machine could still be a $600 console.
Yeah.
But ever since PlayStation, the $599 for the PS3 back in the day, like I don't think anybody wants to go above 500, and I know PlayStation's really struggling to keep their pricing down for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And I think these things are going to come out at a similar price, and I feel like I wonder if they're going to not rebrand the Xbox One X, but like maybe redesign it to be more in line with the Series X and be like, hey, we're gonna keep supporting. This is gonna now be like the kind of like the S console for the Series X, right? Like you're not gonna get the ray tracing or the 120 frames a second or even 4K, but you can run your games at the Series X games at 1440p, 60 frames a second, performance, whatever. and I wonder if that's going to be the way they get people into the ecosystem as well, as be like, we're going to support this thing for 2 to 3 years still. All the games are coming. It's going to be like, they're going to probably kind of set it up like, if you want the best of the best of the best or whatever, you buy the Series X. But if you just want to play games and have fun with your friends or whatever, you can still buy the Xbox One X for $200 or $250. That thing, the X is being priced aggressively right now too. You can get it for probably $250 with like 3 or 4 games now.
Yeah. I've seen it for even cheaper than that, I feel like.
Yeah. So I mean, like, for $250 you can get it with Jedi Fallen Order and Forza Horizon 3 or 4 and Minecraft and Sea of Thieves or something. It's a ridiculous bundle, and an extra controller for like $250 or $300 for all that. So I think that's going to be, they've had that rumored second console for a long time that's underpowered or whatever, and I think the Xbox One X is going to be that console. I bet they come out with like I said, not a redesign or a rebranding, but they're going to come out and say that if you have an Xbox One X, you're going to have the entry level Series X box. So,
I'm like, I can definitely see that, but at the same time, though, I think if they were to do like the S version of the Series X, I think they would want to try to keep it still looking or feeling more like the Series X. Just be like I think they may do where like they don't like that console isn't really for 4K. Like you said, that they do the more 1440p, but I think they would still try to go for like either the like have it where it's basically just a console that focuses more on performance versus the resolution. And so like I think it would still be able to do like 60 or even possibly higher. I don't know that it would go to like 120 hertz or whatever frames per second like they're saying the X would, but I could see it maybe pushing those like 75 or like 80 hertz, because I think some PC monitors like can go like do some of those in between hertz stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of the monitors run at 144, and like the way I think it works is like that's just how many times it refreshes a second, which makes games feel smooth even if they're only running at 60 or 80 or 90 frames a second. Like just having that refresh makes it look and feel smooth, right? And that's why like when I'm playing games on my Xbox One X, like I have it set to 1440p 120 because A, my TV can handle that, and B, like even if my game is running at 45 to 60 frames a second, it still feels smoother because it's refreshing faster than the frames are getting there. So it just feels smoother. Like playing Halo with the 120 hertz on feels like a totally different game. Like it really does. So I mean, man, if they come out with a second box, I think that's going to confuse a lot of people still, though, because like they could potentially have 4 SKUs of Xbox on shelves this holiday with the Series X, the Xbox One X, and the Xbox One S, and then whatever the lesser Series box is.
Well, see, that's why I was thinking if they did though that it would look more like the newer console. Because they wouldn't want it to make it look like the One X, because then people would get it more confused with the older systems and think it's and like, let's be honest, like I love the design of the Series X. It looks awesome. I wish my One X looked like
I mean I like the design of the S and the X right now. But this looks Did you see that it comes with a stand if you're gonna stand it vertically, that
Yeah.
raises the console off the
Yep.
table because it's gonna siphon air from the
Suck
bottom and through the
Yeah,
top to expel the heat. Like that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But
And the green on the top is all just an illusion.
Yeah.
That's not an actual light,
yeah,
which is interesting because at first we thought it was a light. But it's just the way they did the beveling up at the top. So
yeah. I think the only thing that bothers me about the Series X though is that the expansion, the proprietary expansion card,
oh
which is like, you can still plug in your external drives to play Xbox One and backwards compatible games, but
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
this new drive to play the Series X versions of games because of how the way the drive works and the way the games are designed around the drive now and everything.
yeah, yeah.
Which
That's the unfortunate thing of them because this technology that they have in this console isn't even on PC yet. Like this is brand new. Like there's brand new hard drive technology that they're using.
It's their custom
is like
drive,
brand new.
and PlayStation's doing the same thing. Which I think,
Yeah,
I think PlayStation said they have their own custom drives too, which games are designed around. Which means they're going to have their own version of this expandable storage. My hope is that I was listening to Giant Bomb. I'm a little late on it, but they were saying that these expandable storage cards might be the way that PCs are going in the near future too.
yeah,
And so, if Microsoft and Sony and whoever else is going to use these expansion cards come up with a way to say, look, these need to be standardized across the board, similar to USB, how USB is standardized, and
and
SD,
the micro
cards
SD.
are standardized. Like we have to have a standardized expandable storage, or this technology is going to fail. So that was like my only question when this was revealed. But then when you think about it, if PlayStation has their own custom drives and PCs are going to have these custom drives, like they need to be standardized, or we don't need another Blu-ray HD DVD situation. We don't need another VHS Betamax situation. We need them to come together. I mean, look at the Vita. Like the reason why that console failed wasn't because the console was bad or the games were bad. It's because they use proprietary memory cards, and if you're going to use a proprietary memory card, you can't have a 64 gig memory card cost $150. I'm sorry. That's just you can't. So
I think that they're definitely onto something. I do think that like with this technology that it makes sense for this to be the future of like basically the future of hard drives. Like it's so much easier now. We can get so much storage into such small compact things. Like these would basically be like the amalgamation of the micro SD and the SSD, like kind of like the idea of both of those things coming together and you having just a little tiny square hard drive that that can potentially hold like these things that they have that will be for the Xbox are only going to be 1 terabyte each, but it's just like everything. You're going to see it where it's going to go from 1 to 10 to 100 eventually. Like as technology goes on, it will just get bigger and bigger. And
the only thing that kind of bothers me too is like this, like you're going to have to buy one of these cards to expand your library because like I thought for sure they were going to have a 2 terabyte model at some point, and they don't. It's still 1 terabyte. And the thing is too is like PlayStation only has a 800 gig hard drive at the start. So I mean, that's not
even and that's not even after all the stuff that it saves on it for the actual console.
Yeah, I'm
so
really
it
hoping
could be looking closer to 600.
Yeah, I'm really hoping like even these expandable cards get up to like 2 or 4 terabytes at some point, because these games, Like, I know they said the way the consoles are designed, games will probably be smaller actually because
Yeah.
of the way it'll read like assets and how it
Hmm.
stores assets and stuff, and it might actually be, the games might actually get smaller in size, uh,
Yeah.
despite it being 4K 60 frames or 120 frames or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's still like even something that's even if games are still like between 60 and 80 gigs, right? Like that's still only maybe getting 10 games onto a drive, and especially if Microsoft wants to push Game Pass
Yeah.
with Series X, like they're gonna need to have that expandable storage be larger, because you're not gonna want to buy like two or three of these 1 terabyte expansion cards and have to remember what games are on which card.
Yeah. Well, see that, and that's a situation where, like, I could see, like, me personally still using my Series X for playing like certain games on that, and then there will only be certain games that where I really care about wanting to get that, like, the like best of the best look for, so I think, because like I'm thinking too, like, even like I could see me downloading the Game Pass games on my hard drive, and then plugging that hard drive into the Series X and just playing them that way, because like they're, like it's still gonna load them a little bit faster than it did in, like on this console, but obviously it's not going to be the, like, only 10 seconds or whatever it takes to start a game,
Right.
through the solid state drive.
Right.
But that, like, that's the thing, is you technically, like, I feel like a lot of these games that we're going to see in the first year of the console coming out are going to be, they'll be bigger, but it's still going to be, so most of those games aren't going to be that bad when it comes to loading them on the regular console.
Yeah, but I mean,
in some ways.
even if you take these Xbox One games and upgrade them, like they say Gears 5 is going to have an Xbox Series X patch at launch, which will make the game run at either 1440p or 4K at 120 frames a second with ray tracing and all this stuff. Like, you're going to need to put that on the drive to get all that. You can't just keep that on your external. So, like, some of these games, like, by the way, playing Gears 5 again at 120 frames a second and with ray tracing on it, we might have to play through that again. Just gonna throw that out there. But I am excited to see what this console does for existing games, but also I'm afraid of what, like, how does this become, how do they message this to say, to the average person that wants to play, still play Grand Theft Auto, but also wants to play Halo Infinite, but also wants to play, Siege, which, is coming with a free Xbox Series X upgrade when you get it. So, it's they're going to have to really message this in a way that people can understand. And, it took me a little bit to wrap my head around it. Like, okay, I'll probably keep all my backwards compatible games on my hard drive, on my external drive, and then Series X games will only be for this. But what if some of the Xbox One games get Series X upgrades? Like, like, how's the Master Chief Collection going to run? Because, like, they're with them doing like seasonal content now, like with they have like a battle pass type thing for Master Chief Collection now. Are they going to continue that? Are they going to upgrade it to Series X, or are they just going to let it run like an Xbox One game? So they're really going to have to message how that smart delivery stuff is going to work too.
Part of me wonders if some of the stuff like the Master Chief Collection, if they weren't in the background secretly already adding those variables in there that would literally be just changed by like a small patch that unlocks it fully for the new console. Like because like I just feel like it's really hard to believe that they have been putting all this time and working on that collection and haven't like thought, hey, by the time we finally finish this collection, the new console is going to probably be out.
Right.
So like part of me thinks that they have,
I wonder
like with that, because it's basically, what it's going to be. It's going to be like their demo of Gears of War 5, where they took the PC version of it. They threw some stuff together really quick on it and were able to get it to become a Series X version of Gears 5.
Right. And
I wonder, so I think that's probably what they have.
It's
is
funny
there's
you're saying
something
that, because
in
like
the PC.
I wonder, with the PC release of Master Chief Collection, like you said, I wonder if they're doing that work now for the PC version, and then when it launches on Series X, they'll just be like, hey, we did all this stuff for the PC version. You can now do it all on Xbox.
Yeah. See that's what I was thinking, is like, because as I was thinking about it, and just the fact that they're putting all that work and getting it on the PC, a lot of that work has to be there. Then all that stuff is just because these new consoles more than ever are just basically gonna be PCs that are basically set up to just play video games. And they basically they change a little things with the PC versions of games, and they can get them running on these new consoles basically.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's probably what's going on, is like a lot of these games that they're porting over and making PC versions of. I'm guessing at the same time that they were making PC versions of them, they've kind of got some of the things that they need there to enhance them for next generation. So
yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think that was a good conversation. I think we'll end it there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Series X. I don't want to sound like I was trying to be negative on it. It's just these are real questions that I think people are going to have, and the questions that I have still. I'm going to watch that Digital Foundry thing, and hopefully, whatever the big blowout is of this thing when they finally do their Series X, kind of what probably was going to be their E3 presentation, but whatever their digital event is, maybe they'll break it down a little bit before they kind of bring out their games and stuff. So, I mean, there's already games on it that I want to play, like Hellblade and Halo and the Gears 5 upgrade. Like, I think that'll be great. So, but yeah.
If you haven't yet, definitely watch the Digital Foundry stuff. Now, me and Ed talked about the one that was, I believe we talked about the one that was like 28 minutes long.
Yeah.
But there is another one that I actually found very, very informative, almost in a little bit more. I feel like it went a little bit more in depth. They do have another video that's like 22, almost 23 minutes long. Digital Foundry. It's the Digital DF Direct. Or no, wait, is that the one? I can't remember. I keep on getting those confused. Anyway, there's two different episodes or of that show where they focus just on the Series X, and both of them I found really, really good. So if you haven't watched those yet, definitely go check those out, because it definitely got me excited even more, just hearing them really break down things and put it into terms that everyone can kind of understand and stuff. So
yeah,
because I was, excited to learn more about the PS5, but man, was it hard to watch that.
Yeah, I was, dude. I mean, I remember the PlayStation 4 reveal, and
Yeah,
I just nothing against Mark Cerny or anything. He's a brilliant man, right?
yeah,
And he made one of my favorite games of all time called Marble Madness for NES. But
yeah.
dude is boring.
Well,
Like,
it's not even that it's so much that he was boring. He's really awkward. He's
yeah.
awkward.
Well, I mean,
Like it's
he's not a personality, right?
yeah,
He's a programmer.
yeah,
He's an engineer, right? Like,
yeah,
not that engineers can't be outgoing with great
yeah,
personalities or anything, but he's not. So, you know,
yeah. Which,
I mean, I
but
respect the guy. I think the
yeah,
guy, designed the PS4. I think the PS4 is a great console. I think, he's done some great work, and I mean, the cell processor ended up being like a major reason why the PlayStation 3 was, you know, s- struggled to get games, but that the people that knew how to use it knew how to utilize it, right? And he
yeah,
just like he designed that too. So I mean,
yeah.
he's a brilliant guy. I just think that PlayStation 5 reveal was it was interesting,
Yeah, well, and and the thing is,
but also
I understand that it was not really meant to be
us.
for people like the fan type people,
it was supposed to be the GDC talk.
yeah, yeah,
And like all that stuff was really interesting for developers, I'm sure, right? But
yeah,
man,
yeah, but it is, yeah, it was really hard to watch, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like getting to learn more about things and and like and I've been doing my research and stuff on more hardware type stuff, just with everything that's kind of been going on, and like trying to understand from a more technical side, like what's going on with these consoles.
yeah,
And and a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, like it made sense, and it was interesting, and and I'm just I'm curious to see how everything goes, for both consoles, because obviously, like I've said, I do hopefully plan on getting both of them, just because, like finally PlayStation, if they're going to be serious, hopefully, about backwards compatibility, that then, like, in my opinion, that makes it that much more worth actually getting this console. Like, I had a hard time, like, because the Xbox One, it wasn't something that was available right away,
yeah.
but it is,
No, but
it
it's
is kind
definitely
of,
a selling point for the
yeah.
box now, right? Like, I mean, I when I was redoing stuff, I re-downloaded, Knights of the Republic
Mhm.
and Jade Empire and Black and Psychonauts, and I have a ton of 360 games on there, so. But like the work that they're putting into the games to make them look and run better, like I'm finding myself in a place where like I want to play games that I used to play a lot, right?
Mhm.
And it's something that Nintendo is really not doing a whole lot of, I mean, unless you're
Mhm.
really into NES and SNES games, which not really, I'm more into N64 and GameCube stuff. But
Yeah. Oh, the day that they bring some game, if they announced a GameCube like service like that,
I
dude, that
know,
would be great.
I
Oh
know,
my God,
I know.
the internet
But
would break.
PlayStation kind of did it their way of like, we're gonna make our most popular PlayStation 3 games.
Mhm.
We're gonna remaster them and re-release them because backwards compatibility isn't a thing. Which, I mean, there's still a lot of PS3 games missing from that. The God of War collections. Sly Cooper. what else? Infamous is missing. Resistance, the Killzone trilogy. Like, there's a lot of decent games that are missing from the PlayStation 4 remaster library, and I think it would be. I think Xbox is just doing a better job of bringing your legacy with you and seeing how your Xbox library has grown and everything. And
well, and just from what it sounds like too, and even after the Sony came out and elaborated on the backwards compatibility stuff, there is no confirmation of anything other than PS4 games getting any kind of uprising or like games to be looking better on the new console. So it still sounds like all those like games that would be from PS1, PS2, and PS3 are still gonna be they would just be like in their regular resolution, but you'd be able to play them on the new console, like from what it sounded like. Because like when they said 100, they meant only 100 of those games of the PS4 games would be improved upon their resolution and all that stuff into the new console. The rest of the PS4 games will play on it, but they won't have any kind of like improvement on the look of the games.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same way that when PlayStation announced that you could change your name. Right. Only games from April's 2017 and beyond would it work permanently, and they were looking into doing it for the most popular games. But if you played anything on PS3 or Vita or PSP or even early PlayStation 4 games, it might just not work. Like your trophies might go away, your DLC might not read correctly, the games might not read correctly. So I think this is just them covering their basis, and just the PlayStation Network is just put together with duct tape and twine and used band-aids and whatever. So I mean, I think this is their way of covering that in case something doesn't work correctly, or and I think whatever came out after that 2017 date will be fine. I'm sure Horizon and God of War and Spider-Man and Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, those games are all going to be fine on PlayStation 5, right? But what if somebody wants to play The Order or something that's old and nobody cares about anymore, right? Like I think they're just covering those tracks to make sure, like, hey, if you want to play Bloodborne, it might not work.
Yeah. It's all going to be interesting because as much as we know, we really still don't know much,
right?
About either console. Like the numbers and all that stuff, and are out there. The hard drives that are in each console, they're both their own kind of different, unique things. It looks like Sony's is going to load faster than Xbox's, but at the same time, we still aren't quite sure on that. And it seems like that it could be, a matter of seconds of difference, it could end up being really not that big of a difference. But I think either way, Sony's probably will still load faster. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. But I guess we'll see. That's all stuff that we won't really get to know until we get to actually see some footage of the newer games running, that are being built for this next generation. At least like our Halo Infinites and stuff like that. So
yeah,
but all right,
another 2 hour show.
Yeah. There's some stuff. It's not a lot of games. Most of that was all those games. Man, there was a lot of games coming out in one
Yeah.
month, or in 1 week. Sorry. So, all right, yeah, I think we'll end it there. So,
All right.
where can we find you, Corey?
You can find me at I am CoreyHD on Twitter and Instagram, and CoreyHD on Mixer. I also, if you want to play games with me during this crazy period, depending on if, the next couple days, if I find out my job is essential or not, I'll be on playing games. I put my gamer tag and my Switch friend code up in my Twitter bio, so you can add me if you want. We can play some games, Destiny, Halo, Division, stuff like that. Just before, Jesse, you plug your stuff, I just want to tell everybody out there to be safe and be careful. And if you're in a sticky situation, just, I just, hope that we can be there to take your mind off of it for a couple hours of your day, depending. It doesn't matter what show of ours you're listening to. It's just be safe. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going through, well, probably like 85 to 90% of us are all going through a similar situation. So it's gonna be a tough couple weeks or months or however long this goes. I know our lockdown is 2 weeks minimum, so we'll see. But everybody out there, just be safe and be smart and be careful. And yeah.
Yeah, I just, the other day I was, just every once in a while you just start thinking about, everything that's going on. It's just like, it's easy to forget, man, the whole entire world basically right now is going through this.
Yeah.
Some form of this, something, it's crazy. It's, it's just still hasn't quite sunken in that, just the magnitude of all this and just how insane it is. So, but yeah, yeah. And definitely, yeah, stay safe and yeah, just don't go anywhere if you can help it, because
yeah,
it's just honestly, like I said on Boss Rush, we couldn't be in a better time for something like this to happen, where we've got so much entertainment at our fingers. Like we really are fortunate in that department that we've got. Like my son Max is in third grade. Today his teacher sent us by text how to log into this Epic, it's called, and you go on this thing and like you type in his class code and then it's all free. There's books that you can read, books you can listen to audiobook, books that you can have where it reads to you. Yeah. Books that, movies, or there's videos of shows that you can watch. There's, like all this stuff, and like you can just do it all right on a tablet. He can read books. He can, he's got just tons of books at his fingertips and stuff that he can do for school, because like we've been, homeschooling. Like this is why we get to kind of see what it's like to homeschool your kids. So
yeah,
it's been interesting on that department.
Yeah.
Like just we have to not only, make dinner and do all the things that we normally are doing. Now we're the kids' teacher every day as well, and gym teacher and, an art teacher, and, we're trying to make sure that they keep up on their school stuff and all that as well. So it's definitely been interesting to say the least, but all right. Yeah. You can find me basically everywhere as Phantom NXS. And so we are going to throw up the X one last time right before we exit. All right. You guys have a great one. We'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.